Thank you for joining us today, and welcome back to WAMS Webinar Wednesdays. Today, I'm joined by Jacob Hansen, Senior Account Executive, and Kyle Kissell, Sales Engineer from Netdocuments, and they are going to explain and demonstrate the Netdocuments platform and new features, Collab Spaces, and AdSet Builder. If you have any questions, please type them in the question chat box, and we will address as many as we can at the end of the presentation. Any questions unanswered will receive an email reply. Now, for those unfamiliar, I'll share just a little bit about us. WAMS has been providing law firms and businesses with computer consulting and support services since '74. We continue our reputation for quality and service today by installing and proactively maintaining computer systems, as well as providing technology solutions for hundreds of law firms and businesses. WAMS chooses Netdocuments as one of our favorite document management systems because we have a long history of working together. They are also the pioneers of document management cloud computing. Their platform is dependable. It really is our tried and true. Also because of their smooth and detailed implementations, as well as their outstanding ongoing support. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Jacob to tell you a little bit about Netdocuments.
Great, thanks so much, Ashley. I will actually start off by telling everyone just a little bit more about Netdocuments. Ashley did a great job of talking about how we are the cloud pioneers in the document management industry, but I wanted to talk more about why the cloud and why Netdocuments. So you'll see on the screen, the first point I wanted to bring up is that you're able to free up billable hours. As you'll see throughout the demo, there are plenty of features that are able to save time. And through that time, it opens up your day to give you time back into your day to hopefully turn back into billable hours or productive time. Second thing, this is something that's native to any cloud solution and especially Netdocuments, and that's mobility. With a cloud solution, you're able to access Netdocuments from anywhere in the world that you have an internet connection. Third, you're able to prevent human error. This is done with the compliance features, and that's the next bullet. And with those compliance features, you're able to govern who can access what documents, who can access what cases or matters, and also what actions these individuals can do. Next, you're also able to become more competitive on the technology landscape. Hundreds and thousands of firms use Netdocuments worldwide. Some of the largest firms in the world and organizations as well use the system for their legal teams and law firms as well. This cloud solution gives you the option to have the exact same security, system, features, and functionality as some of those largest organizations. Next, it also, because of the save time that you can have with Netdocuments, it allows you to save on headcount. Next, and this is a big one that you'll see throughout the demo and through the next slide, is the adoption rate of a system. The adoption rate means the number of people that you have the system that are actually going to use it, because that's important. If you have a system that no one is using, then it's not going to perform to the best function that it has. Ashley mentioned this point, but we are the cloud experts, over 20 years in the cloud. Back in 1999 or 98 when we started, we would go to law firms and have to introduce the cloud to them and how we were going to save their documents on the internet. And it was, at first it was a very daunting project, but we knew that this was where the future of document management was going to be. So that's where we stuck with, and we've been able to spend the last 20 years perfecting the system and making it so we know how the cloud functions and how to make it secure and have feature robust. The other portion of just any document management system and a cloud document management system is the search functionality. And this is one of the problems that we solve that I'll cover on the next page. But the search functionality is one of those time savers that gives you time back into your day. And it's because of the different features that you'll see with the OCR capabilities that we have, and also the different ways that you're able to tag and profile documents through the system. The next section I wanted to cover for those that aren't aware of Netdocuments is the problems that we solve. The first thing that we cover is collaboration. This is part of the cloud DNA that we have, is that you're able to collaborate and work on different documents and cases and matters with others in your firm and clients or outside counsel or whoever the case may be. Search we covered a little bit, but you'll see more of this as a theme throughout the demo. Mobility is that cloud DNA coming to life, what that you're able to use the NetDocument system on your mobile phone, on your tablet, on your computer at home, or anywhere that you have internet access. Another problem that we solved that a lot of firms have encountered is the expense of on-premise systems. Whether it's maintaining a server, upgrading a server, or purchasing extra server space, NetDocuments frees up that expense because we take that burden on ourselves. Ease of use. All of the NetDocuments users use the system, especially because of how easy it is to use. Technology should make your life easier and not harder. So that's something that we abide by here at NetDocuments and have created a system that makes the system very easy to use. Compliance is another key portion of NetDocuments. We have various security compliance regulations that we apply to, so like HIPAA, FINRA, SOC Type 2+2, and so on and so forth. Another problem that we solve is people that are overwhelmed by email. There are a lot of times when attorneys, paralegals, assistants, even secretaries and managers get overwhelmed by the amount of emails that they receive and are required to file into their document management system. This can become a huge burden, and we will show you how that problem can be solved. Wasted time is something that is a general problem that we solve throughout all of these different features, and you'll see how that applies today as well through the demo. Security is paramount in the NetDocuments system, and it's part of our DNA. We spend hundreds of thousands of dollars every single year to make sure that we have the top system, the top level of security, and we've gone 20 years without ever having a breach, knock on wood. The last point is being able to give you the best tech for all. This comes back to leveling the technology playing field and giving you the exact same systems as top organizations who spend millions of dollars a year on security and different systems that NetDocuments can solve those challenges for you. The last portion I wanted to cover before going to the live demo is giving a brief window into how the NetDocuments system applies to each and every user. We understand that every daily user of the NetDocuments system at your firms are going to operate in a different way. Some people like to operate directly on their computer, some people work from their mobile phone, and some people love to work out of their email. We take NetDocuments to the individual user and allow you to work however and whenever you want. So you'll see kind of the different ways that you're able to access the NetDocuments system throughout the demo, but you'll see kind of on this slide that you're able to access them directly from a synced folder on your computer, through Office 365, through Outlook, on your iOS or Android phone, and through the Microsoft Office interface. The main way that you'll access NetDocuments is through the browser, which makes it so you can access NetDocuments through any computer that you have the internet. Lastly, you also have the ability to have real-time chat communications that are matter-centric and focus on the documents at hand. Now, I will go ahead and pass the time over to our solutions expert, Kyle Kissell, for a demo, a day in the life of NetDocuments.
Thank you so much, Jacob. Thank you, Ashley, for having me. Let's go ahead and get into the platform and show you what a day in the life of NetDocuments looks like for an end user. Now, as Jacob mentioned, you can access NetDocuments through a multitude of ways, and I'm going to show you today all of those ways that different user types can correctly and appropriately save content into NetDocuments. We are going to start out in the web, and I'm going to show you what the NetDocuments Web Interface looks like. From any device, anywhere, you can go to netdocuments.com and log in with your unique user credentials. In logging in, you will be brought to this homepage. This homepage is a unique virtual desktop that each user can set up and configure so that they have single-click access to all of their most important content. That content can be matters or cases that you're working on. It can be templates that you use frequently. It can be emails that you need to reply to, or even a to-do list of projects that you need to work on and complete. Again, this is a virtual desktop. So just like each user's personal desktop can be customized by them, every single person can customize this to themselves without adversely affecting other employees. A couple things that make this different from your personal desktop is you can set this up and lay it out in a way that is easy to see your content. The other thing that's different is this is going to follow me. So if I am on my Windows PC at the office, I have this homepage. If I am on my iPad on the train into work, I have this same homepage. If I'm on my MacBook at home, the homepage is there too. It is not just in browser applications. This homepage is going to follow me into my familiar and favorite desktop applications like Microsoft Word and Outlook as well. This homepage is also the first place that we introduce a way to collaborate internally. You'll notice I have stars next to all of these items. That means that these have been favorited and pinned on my homepage. But what if Jacob and I need to work on an item in my to-do list together? Well, it is very simple and easy. I can right-click on that gold star, and I can actually suggest to Jacob that he pin this item on his homepage too, so that we will both have one-click access to this content that we are collaborating on together. This homepage is very powerful. It is unique to Netdocuments, and it allows people to work on what is important to them quickly, simply, and easily, no matter where they're working from. The next point that I'd like to talk about is our search functionality. Documents are the lifeblood of any firm. If you cannot find documents that you have created, you'll often end up having to reinvent the wheel, which can be a very time-consuming and costly process. Netdocuments makes it very simple and easy to locate previous content that you have drafted, allowing you to better manage the knowledge in your firm. That is done through this search bar right here. Now, this search bar is intelligent, so it knows where I'm currently working, and it is going to narrow my results intuitively to where I am. I'll make sure that I call this out throughout the demonstration today, showing you how this search bar is intelligent. The other thing is it looks and feels just like Google. So I can put any phrase that I would put into Google inside of this search bar. I can use Boolean operators like and, or, and not. I can use wildcard operators. I can even do proximity searches, so I can look for breach within 2 words of contract. Now, in Netdocuments, you have the ability to OCR, or optical character recognition, scan all of your PDF documents, image files, or text files into a fully text searchable format. So there's no more pictures that you can't find. There's no more PDFs that have been scanned in that are unsearchable. Now, Netdocuments understands this, and you can search just the name and the subject like you can in other systems, or we give you the ability to search for everything. And when I'm performing a search for everything, I am looking for the name and the subject of documents and emails, but I'm also going a step further. I am looking for the exact words inside of the content of all of those documents and emails. We take it a step further and we search the metadata around those documents and emails, and we will even search the content inside of email attachments. Now let's go ahead and perform a very broad and generic search so I can show you a couple things about how Netdocuments searches. I'm going to search for the term agreement. This is going to show you how quickly results return in Netdocuments. Just in a matter of seconds, we have returned nearly 7,000 items that contain the word agreement, either in the name, in the content, or in the profile attributes of this file. Now, this shows the speed of the search. It also allows me to demonstrate the scope of the search. We searched every single word in every single document within the Netdocuments repository. This is a very broad search, and it returned dozens and dozens and thousands of results. Now we can scroll endlessly throughout these, or we can come and say, you know what? I am seeing snippets, just like if I performed a search on my favorite web searching platform like Google. Netdocuments not only shows you the search term that I have searched for, but it also allows me to see the context around that term. And you know what? I think I may be looking for this equity contribution agreement. Let's go ahead and select this. I can see some information about this document. I can see who my client is, what the matter is, who authored this document, the type of practice area this is for, and even the type of document that this is been labeled as in my system. If I had made some notes or comments, I can see that as well. You'll also notice, and we'll get into this later, you can see all the previous versions and notes about those previous versions right here in one single consolidated location. Based upon this information, I think I may be looking for this equity contribution agreement. Let's go ahead and preview this file. Now, I have not opened a separate application to do this. I have gone directly from the web and can quickly and easily preview this document. You'll notice we did not start at the top where this document is titled Exhibit. We started at the first occurrence of that search term within our system. So if you have searched for an exact phrase that is on page 65 of a 200-page PDF, Netdocuments is going to take you right to that phrase right inside of the web browser, and your phrase is going to be highlighted. You won't have to open Adobe Reader, convert that document to be a text searchable, and perform a separate search, which can be a very time-consuming process. The other great thing about this previewer is I can select content, I can copy and paste right from here, allowing me to, I guess what I would say is steal shamelessly from my past work. So I'm not very unique. I want to avoid reinventing the wheel as often as possible. So I found myself opening Word, performing searches, and copying previous content frequently. I did not realize how much time I was wasting waiting for separate applications to open until I no longer had to do so. I can copy that content. I can reference precedent matter right directly from this web previewer. Now, these features and functionalities are great. However, we still have nearly 7,000 items, which is a lot to digest. The last thing I'd like to show you about search is how we can narrow from a very broad scope to the one or two files that I'm looking for. You'll notice this filter on the left-hand side. This allows me to narrow down my results just as if I was shopping on familiar web shopping platforms like Amazon. So if I was shopping for shoes and I searched shoes and decided I wanted brown shoes and leather shoes that were eligible for expedited shipping, I could narrow those results down quickly and easily. Just like I would shop on Amazon, I can shop for documents within Netdocuments. So we know we've looked for an agreement, and you know what? It's an environmental practice area. I can make one click and see we're going to narrow this result down from 7,000 items to just the 340 that are related to our environmental practice area. I click apply. The search would rerun and I would have those narrowed results. What if I know that I am the author? And you can see I'm not doing as much work as other people in the firm, but we can narrow that down to just the 11 results that I have authored. It's simple, it's easy, it is intuitive, and it allows you to cast a very wide net and tailor your results to exactly what you're looking for on the fly. Unlike other platforms, Netdocuments returns 100% of these results. So as you filter down, you're not going to miss any of those results that may be on page 2 in other systems. Now, if you're familiar with document management, you may be familiar with or more comfortable with performing a profile search as opposed to narrowing down using attributes. And we absolutely support that. You can simply click that ellipsis up here to see a very familiar profile search, which we at Netdocuments refer to as our advanced search. You can enter in multiple pieces of information to perform a narrowed search right from the beginning. Something that is different and unique to our platform is we do not assume that users are power users. So we are going to give you tips and tricks and best practices right next to each one of these profile attributes. So you can quickly and easily identify the best practices to leverage in this advanced search pane, allowing people that may only perform an advanced search once every few weeks to behave like power users that are running these types of search on a daily basis. It makes it quick and easy to find the content that you are looking for. Now, as we've shown you, Our goal in Netdocuments is to make your life easier. It's to get you to content that you're looking for as quickly as possible. We've shown you how to have one-click access to things that are most important to you. We've shown you how you can search your entire repository for a broad term from maybe 4 or 5 years ago and narrow it down to just that document that you are looking for. Let's show you how we navigate to content that you're working on or matters you're working on a daily basis. And that is very simple. We use this Go to Matter button, and this will allow you to open the digital filing cabinet of Netdocuments. You can click this ellipsis to see a list view of all of your clients, or an ellipsis to see a list view of all of your matters. If you're using common timing and billing or case and practice management systems, Netdocuments will allow you to link the platforms together, pulling in with no additional effort your client and matter numbers that may be identified from those platforms. This is an alphanumeric field, which means that if you know that account number, you absolutely can type in the client account number. If, like me, you're a name person, you can type in the client's name. And you know what? I've had a pretty busy week. I don't even remember the name of the client that I've been working on, but I know that it was a formation matter. I do not have to know my client name to search by matter. Again, this is alphanumeric. I could search by the matter number, or I can just type in the word for. It is going to have predictive type ahead, so it will pull up every single matter that even contains just FOR in the name. And I can see the client name on the left-hand side and the matter name on the right-hand side, allowing me to easily identify the client and matter or the case or project that I'm looking for. With one simple click, I can navigate to my Ironside Works company formation. Now, this is going to take you to the central source of truth for everything that is happening on this matter. You'll notice we have what we call filters in Netdocuments, but I explain these as a smart folder. And these smart folders are based upon all of the different types of documents that I would have for this particular matter. You can see we've invoiced Ironside, so we've got some client invoices. There have been email and internal correspondences that we've saved. I've given presentations and even have some graphics and media that have been presented. These look and feel and are organized just like a typical folder that you may be aware of and used to working with a couple differences. These smart folders are dynamic, so as content is added into Netdocuments, they will be live updating. The other difference is, unlike a traditional folder structure, where if I wanted to see client invoices, I would have to click on client invoices. I can simply click this arrow down here, and I can preview all of my client invoices that have been generated. What if I want to see my correspondences? I can click this right here as well, and I can now see 2 different types of documents in an easy location. If I want to see previous invoices, I don't have to click in here and open. I can simply click next and tab through all of the invoices that have been created for Ironside. This allows me to see at a high level things that are important to me. What if I want to see a good 15,000 foot overview of the status of this matter? Well, I simply click this plus button and we'll expand all of these smart folders, allowing you to see at a high level everything that is happening inside of Ironside Works company formation. This is the single source of truth for everything that is happening here. It allows me to see my internal projects, but what about collaborating externally? Netdocuments has you covered there as well. As Jacob mentioned, one of the challenges that we solve is the ability to collaborate, not just externally with people outside of your organization, but internally as well. If I want to deliver this document to Jacob so that he can work on it, I can pin it to his homepage by selecting this star and right-clicking on it, or I can send him a copy of this document into his email. Now, as I'm sure you're aware, if you email an attachment to a colleague, there's a good possibility they will download that file to their desktop, removing it from your company's organizational structure and potentially causing issues. Well, with Netdocuments, I can actually come here and I can email a link to this file directly to Jacob. This is going to look and feel and operate just like opening an attachment from an email, but it's actually going to open in the file within Netdocuments. Any changes Jacob makes will be saved back into the system, and he will no longer have the temptation to save it to his desktop and perform work outside of the system. This is great for internal collaboration, helps keep everybody on the same page, and allows us to make sure that we are working on the exact same instance of the exact same document. How do we collaborate externally? Well, if I'm delivering content for consumption, Netdocuments allows you to send what we refer to as a secured link. This document may be too sensitive to go out via email. It may just be too large to make it through your email server or to be received by the client. If it's too large to be received by the client, sometimes it can take days for you to receive that message failed notification, providing a very poor client experience. You can deliver documents of any size, but right from within Netdocuments using this deliver a secured link function. We have the ability to place a password on these secure link documents if the content is sensitive. You can also leave this blank. You can set expiration dates on links that are being set out. This can be set by the individual user, or the firm can make some definitions saying secured links cannot be sent out for more than 30, 15, 7 days. You can restrict whether parties outside of your organization have the ability to download documents, or if you just want them to view it from the secure Netdocuments site. Lastly, you have the ability to be notified when this document has actually been accessed. This is not like tracking clicks on emails inside of Outlook. This is truly verifying that the client, the opposing counsel, the party outside of your organization that you have sent this document to has viewed and accessed this document. You as the sender will receive a notification that is timestamped and date stamped. It'll track the email address of the person that opened it and the IP address of the person that opened it, allowing you to verify that that party has received, opened, and viewed that content. So not that you would refer to opposing counsel as liars, but if they claim to have not received this file, you would have evidence to prove otherwise. This is great for delivering content for consumption. But what if you need to work with somebody outside of your organization on files? Well, Netdocuments has you covered there as well. No longer do you have to move files from your secure document management system into an external sharing platform to do that. We have a product that we call Collab Spaces that sits and resides right inside of the secure Netdocuments infrastructure. It sits right on the workspace level, allowing me to have a single source of truth for everything that is happening on this matter. I can click this tab and easily view all of my external collaboration spaces. You can see right here, I have multiple collaboration portals that I've opened up for Ironside Works. I have a client portal where I'm going to place documents for my client. Maybe we need some documents for that company formation. I could have a place for external counsel in here as well. It is simple and easy. I can add a collab space with just one single click. I can select my client portal and view all of these documents that have been shared externally. I have complete governance and control over who can view and add external users into this collaboration portal. It is very simple and easy to see the complete history of everything that has happened, including documents that have been added into this collaboration space, documents that have been viewed internally and externally, what actions have been taken on these files, and who is in here. I can even take it a step further, and I can follow and subscribe if I'm waiting for a client to upload documents into this secure portal, or if they're waiting for me to make changes. Each person can subscribe and receive notifications to documents that have been added in here. You can see we also have the ability to break this down a little further. We can add folders within this client portal. So I know the client needs to sign these documents that are in here, or I need to review the documents in this separate folder. My external user will have an experience exactly like you're seeing right here. They will be able to add documents securely, and they will actually be able to use all of the Netdocuments features that your internal users have as well, like the Netdocuments integration with your desktop applications, which I will show you later. It is very intuitive to add content as an internal user, and this is a very powerful tool that allows for secure, real-time collaboration with people outside of your organization. Those people, as Jacob mentioned, could be clients, they could be expert witnesses, opposing counsel, or maybe co-counsel that you're working on a matter with. And that All of this collaboration is happening right inside of the Netdocuments ecosystem, directly on this single pane of glass that Netdocuments has provided for Ironside Works. The next thing that we do for collaboration is we provide that Mattercentric Chat tool. This again eliminates emails going back and forth between my internal parties, and it allows me to remove some of that clutter that seems to fill up my inbox day after day. We refer to this as ND thread because it allows me to have threaded conversations surrounding a matter. You can see right here, from the matter inside of Netdocuments, we can access threads. I can have multiple different types of conversations going about, and I can even reference individual documents right inside of ND thread. I can speak with my colleagues, and if a new party is added to this group, as Riley was added on the February 12th, he will have historical access to all of the conversations that we've had about this matter. This prevents him from emailing Jacob, Austin, or myself to be caught up. It allows them to self-pace and bring themselves up to speed without taking resources and time away from other users. Now, you can see documents right from here. So I can open this up, I can preview this document, and I can even make comments about this file. Dan and I have been working on this white paper, and I think we need to review this. You'll notice we've had 4 or 5 different comments, and I can easily see that Erica wants to review this section with Dan and I can reply. Dan, have you looked at this? I can post comments and replies, and I can easily notice that, hey, Dan and I have actually reviewed this. I can mark this one complete. It will remove it from my comments list. This allows multiple stakeholders and parties to work in real time on a document, avoiding flooding your inbox with back and forth red lines. This type of collaboration is available not only inside of the Netdocuments workspace, but it is also available in a standalone desktop and mobile application. So I can have a chat about Ironside in my desktop application. I can have that same chat right inside of Netdocuments Web Interface, but I can also have separate conversations about different matters like Bahama Bucks, Bluehound Bus, and I can even have unrelated correspondence with my peers. Maybe Ryan and I need to go to lunch. We do support direct messaging right from here. Just like any chat platform, you can upload content, you can link documents from Netdocuments, you can @mention your peers. This is going to give me the same robust search functionality that I've seen in Netdocuments as well. So I can perform the exact same search that I would in the web right inside of my chat tool. It's not just a productivity tool. It allows you to easily find and access your content that you and your peers are working on. It streamlines the collaboration process and helps reduce the amount of emails that you receive. The next portion of the Netdocuments web is what we refer to as AdSet Builder. This allows you to seamlessly compile and generate documents in one hyperlinked PDF. This can be used for mergers and acquisitions. It can be used to create new client onboarding or welcome packets. It can be used to create litigation trial binders, witness deposition binders, a list of your exhibits that you're presenting. You can have multiple sets created for each particular client. It is very simple and easy to add a new set, or you can go into a set that is currently being worked on. Let's take a look at this corporate closing documents. I can come in here and I can make edits. Now, what you're going to create here is a PDF that is hyperlinked, and those hyperlinks will be shown as bookmarks that you can click through, much like flipping through physical tabs on a physical closing binder. You have the ability to create those top-level tabs in the form of what we refer to as a header. I can create this header and thus create a separate tab. Now we have the ability to place content in here in a few different ways. If you know underneath that new tab that I just created there is going to be a document that I will need to create. Maybe it's an executed contract that I have not received from the client, or maybe it's work product that I have not created myself yet. I can add what I refer to as a placeholder. I have not been provided this contract from the client. This is a document that I know will go here, but I have not received it or created it yet. The next option we have is the ability to add documents directly from Netdocuments. Now we understand as you're generating closing binders, you may have content coming from sources outside of your Netdocuments repository. So I can copy a document that I have made from my internal Netdocuments repository, or I can upload documents from an external source. What if I got a large volume of documents sent to me on a flash drive? Well, we support that as well. I can come in here, I can view a file that has been sent to me, and I can actually drag and drop this entire folder, all of its contents and all of its subfolders right into Netdocuments. As soon as I release, you will see we're importing files, and as those blue lines fill out and we go from black text to blue, those files have been saved seamlessly, securely into Netdocuments. And I have the ability to reorder and reorganize. I can indent or outdent these files as needed, and I can reorder them to meet my needs. Now, not only do I have the ability to customize the organization of these, I can customize the naming structure around them as well. So if I was creating a litigation binder, maybe I want to refer to things as exhibits. If I'm doing a closing, maybe just the A in brackets would work. So let's go ahead and show you Exhibit A, and let's do a dash. We can save this, and you'll notice this is going to update the nomenclature around all of these exhibits. Once I have completed this, I can simply generate a binder, and this will create a final product that I can print out. I can deliver securely to clients using that deliver a secured link or collaboration space, or I can bring with me in a hyperlinked form to court, so I don't have to go through the expense of printing things out. Now, if I have created this skeletal framework for this closing, for this binder, for this repetitive transaction, I know that I'm going to use it in the future. I can quickly and easily clone this to another client and matter. So I don't have to keep a separate checklist that I operate out of Windows. I don't have to collaborate with my colleagues and ask them, hey, what does your checklist look like? What does yours look like? Everybody can get a consolidated experience and have the exact same checklist. It's very easy for me to clone. I can clone inside of this workspace, or I can take this to a completely different client for their farm location acquisition. Simply clicking clone would allow me to bring this skeletal framework to a new client. If I have templates or a cover page that I want to bring, I can choose to uncheck this, or if I want to replace all of those documents with placeholders to be populated at a later date, I can choose to leave this checked. Now, once a binder has been generated, you will be able to see right inside of Netdocuments all of these binders. I can select this. We have the ability to preview just like we did by performing a search, and I can actually deliver this via a secured link, avoiding the cost of printing out thousands and thousands of pages to deliver content to multiple parties. This is a cost savings that you can pass on directly to your customers. And it's been suggested that clients seem to be pushing back on these type of administrative tasks, the time spent compiling closing binders, and the cost associated with printing out that final work product. So this allows you to streamline that cost and that process and avoid clients pushing back on that cost. Let's show you what the final output is. Now, we generated that index page in AdSet Builder. We have our numbering system that we set up, and you'll notice off to the left, we have our hyperlinked bookmarks. So if I want to bounce from my index page to my motion to admit, I can go from page 1 to page 20. I can come to my proposed judgment on page 98. I can come back to my docket, which I have not created yet, which is on page 2. Just like flipping through a physical binder, I can click through these hyperlinked bookmarks right inside of my PDF reader. This is a great client experience. It is a wonderful deliverable that you can send out, and it is value that you can add as you're working with clients. Again, all of this is happening in the secure Netdocuments ecosystem right inside of my single source of truth for Ironside Works. Now, we've shown you everything in the Netdocuments web. Let's show you how we help those users that may not want to go to the website. Let's show you how we work inside of your familiar desktop applications. If I'm working in Word, one simple click, this file is checked out and it is opened in its native application. If it's a PDF, it opened in Adobe Reader. Because it was a Word document, we've opened this directly in Microsoft Word. I can make changes. Let's go ahead and do something that's easy to see. We're going to change our text from green to red. As I hit save, this file is seamlessly saved back into Netdocuments. Everybody in my firm that has access to this file will see just that quick that I have changed that text from green to red. It does not matter if they're in the office. It does not matter if they're on their mobile device. They will see that. What if this change is large enough to warrant a completely separate version or revision of this document? Well, we support that as well. Let's change our text to purple. All I have to do to save a new version is click Save As. We're going to intuitively know we're working on this invoice. We're on version 15. Netdocuments is going to intuitively save this as a new version every time I click Save As. I can change my version name and click Save. Seamlessly, this is pushed back into the Netdocuments platform, and we've updated this to version 16. Anybody that has access to this file will now see the 16th version. We absolutely support preventing people from working over each other. So while I have this file checked out, others in my firm will not be able to check out the same version of this document. Now, I can simply close this file. It has been checked back in and my peers can work on it. If I were to open a new file, I do not need to be logged into Netdocuments in the web to do this. I can open this document just like I'm working out of Word. We are going to take you to the Netdocuments platform. I can see my most recently accessed documents. Our homepage that we started on is right here. I can see all of that content that I needed one-click access to. I can even view my favorite and recently accessed workspaces. So I can come directly to Ironside Works in our company formation. I'll see all of these files, all of these smart folders for the client that we've been working on. I can even access and save directly to my secure client portals without leaving my desktop applications. The exact same search functionality that we saw in the web is available here as well. We can perform a search, or we can perform an advanced search by clicking on this ellipsis. If I was saving new content, all I have to do is add my content, hit save, and we're going to take you to your recently accessed locations in Netdocuments. This looks and feels like I'm working out of a familiar Windows folder structure. However, as I'm clicking through, we are profiling this document with the appropriate metadata inside of the Netdocuments system. All I did was click into my client invoice smart folder, but Netdocuments did all of the heavy lifting. We assigned this as Ironside Works as the client, our company formation as the matter. This is an administrative practice area, and it is a client invoice document type. This is quick, simple, and easy. It allows me to seamlessly save. If you've got people in the firm that prefer to use a pick list or type ahead, we absolutely support that as well. You can click this ellipsis, or I can start typing and select it's a client invoice. Now you will notice my document type has a little asterisk next to it, as does my matter and client. That means that I cannot save this file into the system without applying those profile attributes. However, my author and practice area are optional. Now, because we are using these predefined profiles, this avoids users maybe misspelling agreement or misspelling client invoice, creating multiple folders. We also enforce best practices so that every document gets saved is profiled with the information that your firm requires. It is simple, it is easy. I click save and this file is saved into Netdocuments. Anybody in the firm that has access can see this file. You'll notice we have applied a version identifier number and a document identifying number as well. That can be toggled so that it is shown at the bottom in the footer of these documents. Now, the next thing that I'd like to talk about is our seamless integration with Microsoft Outlook. Netdocuments allows you to quickly and easily save email attachments and the entire email. What is different is that we are using artificial intelligence to provide truly predictive email filing locations that are based upon the entire filing habits of the firm. This is not based upon my usage habits. So the more that Jacob files emails, the smarter my predictions will get. You can benefit from the email filing habits of your peers. Netdocuments uses artificial intelligence. We analyze the sender, the recipient, the name of this email, and the names of any attachments, and we compare that to the filing habits of the entire organization. We return these predictions right here. You'll notice we have cell phone status bars indicating the strength of this prediction. So if I were to save this to Macmillan Toys formation, this is a 99% based upon where Jacob and I have worked. Or Ironside Works is about 21%. Now I can, with one single click, save this email to the appropriate Ironside Works company formation location. I click off of this email and that is quickly and easily filed into the correct location in Netdocuments, and it is tagged with the appropriate email profile attribute. You'll notice that we got a checkbox here. This means that Jacob will see Kyle has already filed this email for him. This is called our global filing indicator. It is set up so that everybody in the organization can see where their peers are filing. It is seamless, it is easy. You can see there are emails that I have viewed or that I haven't viewed that my peers have already saved for me. This prevents duplicated effort and duplicated work that can be wasted having multiple people file the exact same email. It also allows me to know somebody's already handling this. I'm not going to put my effort and energy into this work. This also allows paralegals and attorneys to seamlessly collaborate. No longer are your attorneys forwarding all of their emails to paralegals to send or to save and file. This is easy. With one single click, attorneys can now file their own emails. That is just one point of entry into saving emails. If you've got people that are using Outlook folders, they may be more familiar and more comfortable with using their standard Outlook folder structure. And in Netdocuments, we absolutely support that as well. You'll notice I have a couple of folders that have an ND appended next to them. And that means that I have mapped this folder to a determined location in Netdocuments. It is simple and easy to do. I right click, I choose map folder to ND, and I can select my appropriate client and matter location to save these emails to. Now, if I have a folder that has been mapped into Netdocuments, all I have to do is drag this email or any of its attachments into this mapped folder. As I release, that email is going to be placed into that Outlook folder, which is my unique organizational structure, and it is going to be saved into Netdocuments so that my colleagues and peers can access that as well. That's great for inbound emails, but what about saving email correspondence that I'm sending externally? Well, I have the ability to do that as well. Let's go ahead and draft a new email to Jacob. We've been working on Ironside. Ironside documents. Now, I referenced some documents. Let's go ahead and show you how quickly we can pull in documents that we've been working on. We were working on this invoice. We viewed a couple of these other files throughout our demonstration as well. Let's go ahead and insert these files directly from Netdocuments into my email that I'm sending from Outlook. Now, I've pulled these files in, but you know what? That aircraft administrative document, it's a long name. My client is not going to know what I'm referring to. And I just realized I should probably send that invoice out as a PDF so I can make sure that I get paid. Well, with one simple click, I can convert that invoice to a PDF. We can cup some text off of this, as well as this document, to make it a little bit more digestible by our client. Now, if I was to perform this currently, I would have to save 3 separate copies of 3 documents to my local desktop. If I wanted to reorder them, I'd have to do the dance in Outlook where I drag, reorder, delete the duplicate file. Inevitably, I'd forget to delete those duplicates off of my desktop. Well, with Netdocuments, we take all of that pain and frustration away from that process. This is something that normally it'd take me about 4 or 5 minutes to accomplish, manipulating content on 3 separate documents, saving them 3 separate locations, and going back and deleting. In a matter of seconds, Netdocuments has converted that Word document to a PDF. We have reordered those documents and we have renamed those files in a format that is digestible by our clients. Now, let's go ahead and say, Jacob, there we go. Please review. Now, I can go ahead and send this out, but you know what? We forgot to file this email. Now, if this email was correspondence that I wanted to file, I can take this gentle reminder, I can select and save this inside of Ironside Works. What happens if this is not an email that I would like to file? Well, one more click and I bypass that gentle reminder. So it will help people like me who are forgetful and don't remember to save their outbound emails, but it does not force everybody to save outbound emails. It is a deliberate step to remove that. The last thing that we do inside of Microsoft Outlook, there's a question that came in about this. Can we bring Netdocuments into Outlook? And the answer is yes. We bring your full document management repository right into Microsoft Outlook. That homepage where we started, where we needed one-click access to, where it was the gateway to collaborating internally, is right here inside of Microsoft Outlook. I can view all of my clients that I've been working on. I can perform the exact same search that we did in the web. You do not have to access Netdocuments in the web browser to access Netdocuments and save documents correctly and appropriately. I can run that same quick search or the same advanced search that we've seen a few different places. I can come and view Ironside Works. We can see these smart folders. I can view my client invoices that we've been working on. And we can even see that invoice that we sent out to Jacob, and we can see the current version, number 16, where I believe we changed some text to be purple. You can see in real time the content that we've just worked on, no matter where you are working anywhere in the world. I can copy this content and paste it into a new email. I even have the ability to interact with these documents in different manners by right-clicking, bringing some of those features that we saw in the web right inside of Microsoft Outlook. Now I can quickly and easily toggle between the document management system and Microsoft Outlook, allowing for flexibility. So people that receive hundreds and hundreds of emails have multiple different methods for saving, for working. They do not have to leave Outlook to have full access to your document management system, allowing people to work how they want to work, where they want to work, and when they want to work. That was all that I had planned to show you today. I do believe that we have some follow-ups and next steps that we want to talk about with Ashley, so I'm going to go ahead and turn the time back over to her and Jacob. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Kyle. We're actually going to go ahead and open up for some questions because we have a few questions here. So the first question we've got here is, does Netdocuments integrate with Microsoft Outlook?
I'll go ahead and take that question. And as we just showed in the very last portion of the demo, NetDocuments absolutely has a full integration with Outlook. Now, the nice thing is that, and that we weren't able to show today, but that we absolutely have available, is that it also integrates with the Outlook app on your phone. So you're able to save emails on the fly as you're in transit or when you're not at your desktop computer as well.
Okay, awesome. Next question. Can Netdocuments help us create a solid folder structure or migrate our current folder structure?
That's a great question as well. So as far as folder structures go, we are able to mirror what the firm currently has. So if you have a folder structure that's based on a client matter relationship, then we can absolutely migrate that and all of your documents over into the NetDocuments system. They will be able to mirror into those smart folders that Kyle covered today, or we can also do a typical folder structure, but it's recommended to use the smart folders because it unlocks a variety of different features that we showed today.
Okay, we've got a couple more here. If we move to Netdocuments, will we need any training? How user-friendly is it? And I think I can take this one. You definitely probably will need some training unless you have already worked with Netdocuments, especially on this platform now with some of these newer features. We offer training. Kathleen is our in-house trainer. She is excellent and she can do that either remotely or visit your office. It can be as light or as detailed as you really need, and we have a lot of support for that. I think we've got time for one more question, and the rest we'll probably have to give an email reply. So why Netdocuments as opposed to top competitors? And now I've explained why at WAMS we love Netdocuments, but maybe Kyle or Jacob can elaborate a little bit.
Absolutely. So there's a few different reasons why you would choose Netdocuments over some of the top competitors. One of the biggest reasons that we've found that it seems to be important to firms is the fact that we have been doing this in the cloud for over 20 years. So the cloud wasn't an afterthought for us. It was something that we designed perfectly to be able to come into the future with technology that is security proof, and it gives you the option to be able to expand into these all of these different products. Those other products and those other different features that we showed you today, that's the other reason. There's no other place, there's no other document management system that has features and functionality like Collab Spaces, like AdSet Builder, where you can design closing binders or company formations directly from your document management system and still maintain the level of security that Netdocuments has. So all of that put together creates a one-stop document management system that's unparalleled anywhere else.
Perfect. And that is all of the time that we have for questions. But remember, if you have any additional questions, please send them to info@wamsinc.com right there. And your questions will be answered either by WAMS or Netdocuments or both, whichever is most appropriate. Thank you to Jacob and Kyle for sharing with us today. And thank you all again for joining us this morning. Be sure to join next month's webinar. It will be on Wednesday, March 25th at 10 a.m. So keep an eye out for that invite.